Hi, welcome to the High Five, a show where I list 5 things because 5 is an easy number for even the simplest of minds to comprehend. I mean, odds are, unless you've been in a horrific accident or are the guy from The Princess Bride, you've likely got that many fingers on one hand, or at least 5 between 2 hands. Go above that and things start to get sketchy. On this episode, I believe I've talked enough about why I love Elder Scrolls Online and love it more and more every time I log in. But most people, last time I checked, are not me, which is deeply saddening. For everyone not me, there's nostalgia. Recently, Elder Scrolls Online announced a new Morrowind-themed expansion. You may remember Morrowind as the reason you nearly flunked out of school in the early 2000s. And now Elder Scrolls Online is hoping to lure you in based on those fond memories of shattered dreams. But don't worry, should this happen to you, I have a few tips to help you start off in Elder Scrolls Online that you might not have known unless I otherwise told you. If you've played any MMO over the better part of a decade, you know how they work. Pick up quest after quest until you hit max level, and then begin the soul-crushing gear grind, leaving you a bitter husk of a human being. This is a fairly normal experience. Elder Scrolls Online is not that way. For starters, levels do not really matter in ESO, unless you're wanting to do PvP, which starts at level 10. But for everything else, levels do not really matter. All enemies and loot scale to your level, which means you can do whatever you want, whenever you want. If you play ESO like any other MMO, just doing quest after quest, you'll likely tire of it pretty quickly. Instead, just run around for a bit and do the content you want to do. Do yourself a favor and learn what all of these icons mean. Hint, they're all different types of content. Find which of these you enjoy doing, and do them. I think you'll find the game a much richer experience for it. And for those of you unwilling to learn for yourself, or use Google, here's a quick breakdown. This torch icon is a delve. Delves are essentially mini dungeons you can run solo or with a group. Make it to the end, kill the boss, and get some sweet loot. This cave is a public dungeon where anyone can enter. Typically a bit harder and longer than delves, these can still be done solo if you know what you're doing, but a group is recommended. This cave, not to be confused with this cave, is an instance dungeon. These usually require a group, but the rewards are greater than any of the others. This skull icon is an epic boss. One badass mofo. You will need multiple people for this boss. But if you keep your eyes on general chat, which is the only time I will ever say that, you'll see groups forming up for these pretty often. The eyes are points of interest. Each one does something different, so just go find out. These are shrines that give you a bonus stat of some sort. You can only have one on you at a time. Each one does something different, so look them up, I'm not doing it for you. This portal-looking thing is a dolmen. Dolmens are mini-events where wave after wave of enemies will spawn. After defeating all of them and a boss, you'll get a nice reward. Then there are other assorted icons for quest areas. These areas usually have a quest available outside of them, which will then take you through that entire area on a long quest chain, revealing a lot of lore, story, and rewards along the way. And this icon we'll talk about in a second. That second is up. This icon on the map that we didn't talk about is a way shrine. Way shrines act as an easy way to get around this large world. And starting off, it may be tempting just to open your map, click on one of these bad boys, and teleport away. But don't. Always read the fine print, which states that doing so costs money, which over time really adds up. Instead, physically move to a way shrine, click on it, and then you can teleport around for free. This will help you save up some precious gold for my next point. Buy a mount. You will want one because even with way shrines, making your way around will be slow without some kind of large animal between your legs. Could have phrased that better. Also, speaking to a stable master every 20 hours or so will allow you to level up one of 3 attributes for your mount: speed, carrying capacity, and stamina. This doesn't cost much, it's more that you just have to remember to do it, which, let's face it, is kind of a pain in the ass. Who wants to remember things, am I right? That's why amnesia is so damn popular. Unlike most MMOs, classes in ESO are fluid. Yes, you will choose a class at the beginning of the game, but you can use any weapons or armor that you want, and each class can pretty much do anything. Some are more adept at certain roles than others, but in a pinch you'll do. Huh, I'm pretty sure that was my wife's wedding vows. I'm sad now. Weapon types are the major way to do this. Want to be a healer for just a moment? Throw on a restoration staff and heal away. You'll just need to put some skill points into restoration staff. You get skill points from leveling or collecting sky shards. Yet again, another area where leveling matters, further negating my point, but I just don't care. The point I'm trying to make here is that you should try out all of the different classes because they aren't set in stone. Once you've found a class you enjoy, make sure to check out all of these additional skill sets, like your preferred armor type, guild skills, and world skills. I know, all of those class skills look really nifty, but experiment a little, come on. On top of playing around with the classes, remember that you actually have 2 specs for your character that you can switch between in an instant. If you're used to other MMOs, you'll likely forget about this, causing you undue hardship, as I did pretty much my entire time leveling up. Don't be me. Be smart. Don't try to make one spec do everything. Starting at level 15, once again, levels matter. You know what? Forget what I said. Levels matter. Hitting that squiggly line button on your keyboard, and yes, I know what it's called, I just prefer squiggly line button, will switch you to a secondary spec. This opens up a whole new action bar and weapon set for you to take advantage of at a moment's notice. Have a DPS spec and a support spec. Have a tank spec and a heal spec. Have a heal spec and a DPS spec. Who cares? Just have 2. In dungeon parties, don't just limit yourself to one role. If you're a healer, have a support or DPS secondary to throw in some extra damage when you can. If you're a DPS, maybe have a few heals or some taunts to help out in a bind. The options are unlimited, in that they're limited to 2. Yes, this may sound like a bad mandatory Saturday night at that crappy retail job you have, but in ESO, it's pretty damn important. The world of Tamriel is packed full of items to pick up. You can open up crates and get stuff. You can open up barrels and get stuff. Weapon racks, tables, chests. You can loot them. And that's not mentioning regular loot and crafting materials. All of this will quickly overtake your limited inventory space. It's smart to figure out exactly what equipment you'll need for your character, for your crafting profession. P.S. Add an extra tip in here, get a crafting profession, and anything else that you may be looking for. Now, you can buy added inventory space from certain vendors, but they will cost you more each time you increase it. You can also add more carrying capacity for your mount. However, you can only do this one at a time on a 20-hour cooldown. So it's still smart to make use of the space wisely. You will not be able to carry everything. However, if you really enjoy the game, you may want to consider subscribing. Doing so will give you a crafting bag, which stores all of your crafting materials in a separate inventory. I have found this infinitely useful, but if you don't want to drop any money, it's not really necessary. So there you have it. 5 handy tips for your first steps in the wonderful world of Elder Scrolls Online. There's honestly so many more that I could not fit in here. If you have any other tips, make sure to leave them in the comments below. Now get out there, make some friends, and oh yeah, bonus tip, don't randomly use your attack skills in cities. The guards tend not to like it. You catch one civilian on fire and suddenly you're the bad guy. Make sure to level up your MMO knowledge by visiting MMORPG.com, subscribing to our YouTube channel, and by following us on social media. To catch up on the week's biggest MMO news, watch our latest MMO FTW. And to see if there's a better MMO out there for you, watch one of our latest First Impressions videos. Thanks for watching.